The Atlanta Dream just landed themselves in a storm they probably didn't see coming. What started as a casual broadcast moment has now spiraled into a full-blown legal disaster, and it all revolves around Caitlin Clark, her fans, and a lawsuit that could cost the Dream a jaw-dropping $2 million. Yeah, you heard that right, $2 million. So here's the play-by-play. During a recent live game broadcast, the Atlanta Dream commentators decided to go off script, throwing shade directly at Caitlin Clark's growing fan base. Instead of focusing on the game, they painted her supporters as toxic and overly aggressive, suggesting that her popularity was manufactured hype pushed by the media machine. That single statement didn't just ruffle feathers, it lit social media on fire. Within minutes, clips of the broadcast went viral, Clark's fans were outraged, and hashtags calling out the Dream started trending. Now, normally, drama like this blows over in a few days. But this time, things took a wild turn. Several high-profile fan groups representing Caitlin Clark's supporters banded together and filed a lawsuit, claiming defamation and emotional damages. Their lawyers argue that by labeling Clark's community as toxic on live TV, the Atlanta Dream not only disrespected a massive group of loyal fans but also damaged their reputations in front of millions. They're asking for a settlement that clocks in at $2 million. Let's pause for a second. $2 million is no small chunk of change in the WNBA. For context, that's almost the entire salary cap of some franchises. Losing that kind of money wouldn't just sting, it could cripple the Atlanta Dream's financial flexibility for years. And the fact that this comes at a time when the league is finally gaining momentum thanks to players like Caitlin Clark. It makes the whole situation even messier. The question is, how did it get this far? Why would an organization allow commentators, who are essentially the public voice of their franchise, to attack fans live on air? Insiders say this wasn't just a slip of the tongue. Apparently, there's been quiet resentment within certain WNBA circles about the massive spotlight Caitlin Clark brings. Some feel that her arrival has overshadowed veterans who have been grinding in the league for years. Instead of embracing the wave, some are pushing back, and the Atlanta Dream might have just pushed way too far. Clark herself hasn't publicly commented yet, but you can bet she's aware of it. And let's be real, Caitlin doesn't even need to say a word, her fans are already riding for her like an army. From college to the pros, she's built one of the most passionate and loyal followings in women's basketball. These fans don't just show up to games, they buy jerseys, flood social media, and boost ratings through the roof. Insulting them. That's like poking a hornet's nest with no protective gear. And here's where it gets even juicier. Legal analysts are split on whether the lawsuit will actually stick. On one hand, defamation cases are notoriously difficult to win, especially when the comments are directed at a group rather than a specific person. But on the other hand, the sheer scale of Clark's fanbase, combined with the fact that this was broadcast nationally, gives the plaintiffs a unique angle. They're arguing that the Atlanta Dream knowingly spread false information to discredit fans, a claim that, if proven, could put the Dream in a seriously vulnerable spot. Meanwhile, the WNBA as a whole is holding its breath. The league has been riding a wave of growth, largely fueled by Caitlin Clark's star power, Angel Reese's rivalry, and the increased visibility of women's hoops in general. A messy, high-profile lawsuit involving one of its teams could derail that momentum. Sponsors don't like drama, and advertisers are quick to back out when controversy starts trending. The last thing the league needs is for mainstream headlines to shift from "Caitlin Clark breaks viewership records" to "WNBA franchise sued for millions." So where does this leave the Atlanta Dream? Right now, they're stuck between damage control and legal defense. Rumors say their front office is scrambling to issue a public apology, but lawyers are warning them not to admit fault, because that could strengthen the lawsuit. It's a classic PR versus legal battle, and no matter which way they turn, it looks bad. Fans of other teams are watching closely too. Some are even clowning the Dream online, saying this is karma for trying to tear down a player who's done nothing but elevate the entire league. Others are worried that if the lawsuit succeeds, it might set a dangerous precedent where every controversial statement could turn into $1 million payout. But here's the bottom line, this lawsuit isn't just about money. It's about respect, reputation, and the power of fandom in modern sports. Caitlin Clark's rise has proven that fans are more than just background noise, they are the heartbeat of the game. Attack them, and you're not just picking a fight with a few Twitter accounts, you're declaring war on an entire community that has the power to make or break your franchise. If the Atlanta Dream lose this battle, they won't just be out $2 million. They'll be branded as the team that went after Caitlin Clark's fans and paid the price. And in a league where every bit of positive attention counts, that could be a scar they never recover from. So as this lawsuit unfolds, one thing is crystal clear: the Atlanta Dream might have thought they were just tossing out a hot take on live TV. Instead, they sparked a legal firestorm that could change the way teams, commentators, and leagues talk about players and fans forever. And you better believe the world will be watching.